Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going back to 1989 and looking at the ABC comedy Head of the Class starring Howard Hesseman. In specific, the reason Howard Hesseman chose to walk away from the show after its fourth season. Howard Hesseman was born in 1940 and had been acting in various television roles all throughout the 60s and 70s. To me, though, he'll forever be associated with the role of Dr. Johnny Fever, a disc jockey on the television show WKRP in Cincinnati, which ran for 4 seasons from 1978 through 1982 on CBS. Then, in 1986, Howard Hesseman was cast as Charlie Moore, a schoolteacher for a group of gifted students at Millard Fillmore High School in Manhattan. The character was supposed to have moved to New York to pursue acting while teaching during the day, and while he may not be as intellectually gifted as his students, he has the knack for thinking outside of the box and finds interesting and unique ways to connect with the students and earn their respect. Also, while many of the students in his class have extremely high IQs, they sometimes find they need to work on their emotional intelligence, or EQ. While not my favorite show during the mid to late 80s, I still watched it on a fairly regular basis. I was a huge fan of Hesseman's and thought the actors playing the students were great. The show would go on to be a big role for Robin Givens, who has had an acting career that has spanned for 40 years. It also helped launch actor Brian Robbins' career, which has really shifted more into the production side of Hollywood, where he stays busy even today. The show did fairly well for network ABC, but it was canceled after its fifth season. I'd guess that one reason for the show's cancellation was simply that, well, it had run its course. I mean, come on, if these students were so gifted, why were they still in high school for 5 years? But another reason for the show's cancellation? Well, it might have had something to do with Howard Hesseman's decision to walk away from the show. In a 1989 interview with the Chicago Tribune, Hesseman basically stated that he was pretty unhappy with the direction the show was heading. He also stated that in his opinion, there was no socially redeeming value to the hit show, and that they were not doing the show he was led to believe they would be doing. And so, by the end of season 4, Hesseman walked away from Head of the Class. Now, I've got to say that I really find that last comment of his so interesting, that they weren't doing the show he'd been led to believe they would be doing. It really makes me wonder what kind of show they had promised him. We'll probably never know. Head of the Class would go on for 1 season without Hesseman, and replacing Hesseman's character with a new teacher named Billy McGregor, played by the Scottish comedian Billy Connolly. By the summer of 1991, Head of the Class was cancelled. Interestingly enough, nearly 30 years later, HBO Max is working on a pilot for a reboot of Head of the Class starring Isabella Gomez, who is probably best known for her work on the Netflix sitcom One Day at a Time. It'll be interesting to see if this actually gets made. In 1991, Howard Hesseman would make a number of appearances in a spin-off of WKRP in Cincinnati, aptly titled The New WKRP in Cincinnati. The new series would be on air for 2 seasons before being canceled, basically just for not being profitable enough. With that said, Howard Hesseman has found a way to stay busy acting, mostly with guest roles in various television shows. What are your thoughts on Howard Hesseman and his role as Charlie Moore on Head of the Class? Did you even watch Head of the Class? How about WKRP in Cincinnati? I loved Johnny Fever on that show and thought he was perfect for that role. What about the HBO Max reboot of Head of the Class? Would you even be interested in watching that? Rebooting old TV series seems to be the thing to do these days for all the streaming services. I look forward to reading your comments. I would also really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to my YouTube channel where I talk about movies, music, and TV shows from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there and have a great day.